we're going so hard we got to put ace bands on before the class.
How tight is that?
That's snug.
This is what we do to get ready for training out here, right?
So snug that
No danger, it's not gonna happen. Okay? You don't know that, all right? So accept that it's out there and that you're not immune to it. Don't get cocky, don't get overconfident, okay? It's like with you guys, you know, come out here, train, you got enough members, you know, you get to the point where, well, we have our security deal up and running for a year now and nothing's happened. So they start letting your guard down. Well, maybe nothing's happened is because your security deal is such a good deterrent that how do you know that you weren't counter-surveyed 3 or 4 times over the last month by potential active shooters and they said, no way, we're going someplace else. You don't know that. So you start letting your guard down and then boom, that's when it happens, okay? That's what I tell my officers, you know, we're vulnerable because we'll go through spurts where we get a lot of calls and then a lot of violent calls, and then we'll have a little lag in that. And what happens during that lag? You kind of lose your edge a little bit, all right? You gotta start talking about something else, thinking about something else, and then boom, that violent call comes out, and they're not mentally ready, okay? So it's like when we're prepping for a SWAT mission, I said, I don't want to hear any more conversation except on the mission. I hear a couple of guys over there smoking and joking or whatever. I mean, not literally smoking, but you know, you get the point. I tell them, hey, knock that shit off. I said, on the mission, nothing else. Okay, you can talk about that when we're done. And I got to bring them back. You know, stay focused because we're fixing to go into it. Now, the thing about that is you got to kind of have that warrior mentality, that samurai, that ninja mentality and mindset on the inside, but you can't really let it show. But you know, if you're going to a strange place for the first time, or there's been some activity in your area, you know, I mean, yeah, prep up for that. Think about it before you go out and kind of have your reactions kind of pre-programmed in just a little bit.
Stand by! Knife! Back!
Right. You know, that's at 5 yards, so we're going to be shooting roughly 6 to 7 yards, okay? And I got the targets 1 yard, yard and a half apart. And you know, this is one of those drills is you can practice it a lot and get really, really good at it. And then if you don't practice it for a while, it goes away pretty quick. So the more you practice, you would want to move these targets apart and then move them in depth and so forth. And then maybe put a 3rd or a 4th one in there, okay? Let's go ahead and get them on. Without any training, here's how it probably look. Stand by, threat! Okay, those were 2 good hits. Okay, but what did I do on that? So if I wanted to go 1 and 1, you got to start slow. I'm going to exaggerate this. As I get the recoil, y'all come on in here where you can see a little bit. Okay, I'm going to really exaggerate this. So as I punch out on the first, when I get my shot, there's the recoil. See, it's moving, it's coming in, and there's the second shot. You see how I exaggerated that? I didn't hold that sight in there to recover. Okay, I'll let that recoil trigger the movement into the target. Now, I'm using a red dot on this. I went ahead and turned it on. My opinion is on this, you kind of lose a little bit with the red dot. I think the open sights work better for me, of course, depending on conditions. Because we're a little far to be silhouette shooting these. We got to actually see the sights or you're not going to hit them, okay? So let's look at that again. Stand by, threat! Okay, 1, 2. Okay, and then you just want to stay at that pace until you get to where you're quicker and quicker and quicker with it. Stand by, threat! Okay, reload, and so forth. And then the more you practice that, you'll get it down and down. So, now let's talk about going to 4. So that was 2, bang, bang. When we go to 4, we're coming back across and coming back to the first. What's the point in doing that? What are we wanting to do? Yeah, we want to clean up, right?
So the class today was Pistol 3 progression, which was an advanced pistol class. Really enjoyed it, learned a lot of new things like prone position and shooting from distance of about 35 yards with a pistol. I enjoy coming here because the instructors are very humble, very kind, very patient with all levels of shooters. So If you've never been out here to Strategic Weapons Academy in Ennis, you ought to give it a shot.